The note came at 9:43 p.m. Thin paper, shaky handwriting. Leave your house in 10 minutes. Act normal. Trust me. No signature. When I opened the door, Daniel, my neighbor of 6 years, was standing there. Eyes wide, face pale. He didn't wait for questions. "Walk with me," he whispered. "Don't look back." I didn't argue. We walked 3 blocks in silence, the sound of rain tapping against our shoes. Then the sirens came, distant at first, then closer, screaming like something alive. I turned despite his warning. My house was burning, flames tearing through glass, eating the night. And in that instant, something I thought long dead inside me, the part that calculates, remembers, plots, started breathing again. Because I knew that fire wasn't an accident. The fire department called it an electrical fault. The investigator used phrases like old wiring and heat surge. I said nothing, but I remembered the smell gasoline, not electricity. And the burn pattern was too deliberate, too symmetrical. Whoever did it wanted me gone without the inconvenience of a corpse. At the hotel, Elise held my hand, tears trembling on her eyelashes. "At least we're alive," she whispered. I nodded. She smelled faintly of smoke and something artificial like rehearsed grief. That night, when she fell asleep beside me, I checked her phone. No password. Too trusting or too arrogant. There they were, messages to someone saved as L. "It's done. He won't have anything left." I stared at the screen until the words blurred. Then I turned it off and placed it gently back on the nightstand. Not out of love, out of calculation. The next morning, I went back to Daniel. He looked worse, like guilt had kept him awake. "You didn't hear it from me," he said. "But someone saw a car parked near your property last night. Silver Lexus. At least, that's what they said." Leonard Harper drove a silver Lexus. My business partner, my friend. "Thank you," I said. He frowned. "You don't seem surprised." "I'm not." I started quietly. I didn't want confrontation. I wanted data. My job had taught me that numbers lie less than people do. So I hired a digital forensics specialist I'd once helped out of a tax audit. He owed me. 2 days later, he called. "You're not going to like this." He was wrong. I needed it. The report came in a plain envelope. Inside, screenshots, transaction logs, voice memos, Elise and Leonard, transfers from our joint accounts, coordinated withdrawals, insurance policies rewritten in her name, and one audio clip that played like a dirge. Leonard's voice. "Once it's done, he'll have nothing left." Elise's laughter. "He never notices anything." I didn't confront her. Confrontation is chaos. I preferred precision. Instead, I went to work as usual. Smiled at colleagues. Accepted condolences. Elise brought me coffee. Hugged me. Whispered, "We'll rebuild." Yes, I thought, we will. But not the way you expect. That night, I looked through old photos of youth vacations, birthdays, the illusion of partnership. It wasn't pain I felt. It was detachment. People mistake silence for calm. It isn't. It's strategy. 3 days later, I invited Elise to the insurance office. "We'll go over the claim together," I told her. She agreed instantly, guilt masquerading as cooperation. Leonard joined us, all polished charm and performative concern. They thought it was the beginning of a payout. They didn't realize it was the opening act of their downfall. I gave Elise a USB drive. "Photos of the house," I said. "For the claim." She smiled relieved. When the agent plugged it in, the screen lit up. Not photos. Recordings. Screenshots. Bank statements. Audio files. Her laughter. His voice. The plan. Silence fell, heavy and absolute. Elise went pale first. Leonard's jaw tightened, panic flickering in his eyes. The agent froze, unsure whether to call security or a priest. I leaned forward slightly. "You should have let the house burn after I left." Then I stood, straightened my tie, and walked out. No shouting, no satisfaction, just clarity. Elise moved out the next day. Leonard resigned by the end of the week. The authorities came soon after insurance fraud, arson, conspiracy. I didn't testify. I didn't need to. The evidence was airtight. They turned on each other, predictably. Self-preservation always wins over passion. When people asked if I felt vindicated, I said, "No, I feel finished." Daniel visited a few weeks later. "You okay?" he asked quietly. I looked at him, really looked, the man who had saved my life. "I am now." He nodded, sensing the finality in my voice. We stood in silence, watching the empty lot where my house once stood. The ground was black, lifeless but peaceful. Nothing left to destroy. I didn't rebuild the house. I built something smaller, simpler, colder. New name on the doorbell, new accounts, no shared passwords, no shared lives. I started investing again, cautiously, surgically. Control was my new religion. Sometimes when the night is too quiet, I still hear the echo of that fire. But it doesn't haunt me. It reminds me. You can lose everything and still keep yourself. Love, I've learned, isn't warmth. It's calculation disguised as emotion. And betrayal, real betrayal, isn't noise. It's a pattern. I stopped loving Elise the moment I realized she was predictable. Predictability is the death of respect. What I felt after wasn't anger. It was discipline. They say fire consumes, but sometimes it clarifies. They burned my home to erase me. All they did was set me free. Daniel still waves when we pass each other in the street. I nod back. I never mention the note. Some debts can't be repaid, only acknowledged. In the quiet of my new life, I keep one thing from the past. The note that started it all. Framed. Hung above my desk. Not as a warning, as a reminder. The moment you stop reacting, you start winning.